heroes to be aggressive, they are gonna go for the win.
Oh, you got it right.
I mean, they say for the win here, but I think Evos SG, some of their players are extremely hard to start banning out. JPL, for an example, an absolute monster when it comes to his role. He knows what he is doing. However, you can limit him by preparing for specific heroes and forcing him on it. Things like Farsa, things that require doesn't require too much of a playmaking capability like Jawhead or even Cho.
And speaking of playmaking abilities, right? Playmaking, decision-making, all of these. We used to think that Moon was a peel-type tank. And because of his performance on the Atlas through the group stage, it got banned out by Evos SG. Contra, do you think that's worth it?
I definitely think that at certain scenarios like this, it's pretty much worth it to actually set those bans right in. Yixun Shin, something that has been frequently being picked by Evos SG, knows for the fact that, hey, this can actually disrupt this, and towards game number 1, we don't want to see any of that. And furthermore, they also double down on another marksman ban in the form of Brody. And, well, what do you guys think about Evos SG? What should they respond with?
Well, I think Evos SG at this point in time, they can see, okay, you want to get rid of the Yixun Jin. They probably want to start forcing, particularly Potato to go on an assassin-type hero like Hayabusa. Skills really late in towards the game. Takes a little too long there, but I don't know. I think they're going to be looking for. A little bit more.
But then again, Gideon, there's this thing about Potato that he can play mages as well. He can go for the Harley, he can go for those early to mid-game heroes that have certain impact coming into the game early. Now, they can put Pokemon into the marksman road. We've seen him use the Claude with Avarice, and I don't think he's gonna shy away from using a 1-1 and other marksman heroes, or probably carries, into the side lane.
Okay, Butters, you're essentially treading very, very unfamiliar territory. So far, from the side lane, from the gold lane, what's accepted and what's familiar with a lot of people would be, yes, the Claude and the 1-1. Anyone else like the Granger or the Carry still raise some eyebrows. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I hope to see that too.
Evos SG is not one team to back down from those kinds of challenges. We've talked about them. They like complex win conditions. And if you're gonna talk about complex win conditions, if they're gonna pick a carry and they're gonna pick a Moskov or they pick any marksman out there, it's on them. They like that.
But you really don't want to be like a I see there's a lot of all these thoughts on Gideon's side, so yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look at the draft in particular, because I mean, this is going to be a very big tell. In Atlas, I mean, as you can tell, Jawhead is out in the open, Matilda is out in the open, Esmeralda is out in the open.
Benedetta even.
Yeah.
All right, so essentially what this draft said for the first part, 3 bans saying it's not about what we don't want to see. It's about what we want to take out so we can actually play well.
I think it's even more than that. I think it's not just about, oh, what we can play well. It's just saying, hey, you're going to have a lot of effective picks, and we're going to force you to make you choose which kind of style you have to create a linear type composition. Something that we can foresee, something that we can deal with.
That's right. This is the sort of the force power pick advantage coming in towards the red side here. Every single time Evos SG goes on towards the red side, and as much as they pick that Esmeralda, like you said, you got so many things out there, like we talked about the Jawhead, that's always the first big material. Benedetta, even Yuzong, you name it, it's all available.
Essentially what these two teams are doing is they're playing with fire, right? Like they don't mind aiming bazookas at each other. That's what's going to happen in this game so far.
Absolutely, and I'm expecting Evos SG to pick a Cho. A Jawhead could be a factor as well, but for Pokemon here, this could be a Benedetta. Yes, it's going to be a Benedetta.
Butters is just on fire right now. Did you wake up and have a revelation?
I just had coffee.
That's the same. That's almost even better sometimes. Even better.
Oh, I definitely understand the feeling here, and yeah, I think I was leaning a little bit more towards Jawhead instead of the Cho, mainly because, again, both are unideal when you're up against an Esmeralda, of all things. I mean, she steals away your shields, Shunpo, smart missiles, both pretty much ineffective against her. But now Todak has going to get her the 2 picks for themselves. No Lapu Lapu, which means for Maze might actually be able to get Yuzong on his side, or arguably Todak could even lock in the Matilda as well as the Yuzong, both synergizing very nicely with each other.
Yeah, great that you point point that out because we did not really talk too much about the Matilda in that sort of sense, but they are instead going in for the Hayabusa as Formaze confidently locks it in with that Sylvana. It's a very different side that we're seeing here from Todak.
You know what? I get it though. This is fine. This is safe and all. Because if ever, this Sylvana is a flex pick, right? Like it could go on Moon. It could go on E1, although we haven't seen it from E1 as much. But this Hayabusa definitely is for Chiku. This is definitely for Chiku. Something that might still show up. I'm guessing since X-Ray already has the Esmeralda, is maybe, just maybe, Beleric makes a coming.
I'm getting a bit of a thing here for the side of Todak that they have the Esmeralda and the Hayabusa. So that means their spike is gonna come by the time we hit mid-game. So I think for Todak, they're probably aiming to go for a Farsa. And if they go for a carry, they go for a carry. What did I just say?
Unfamiliar territory.
No, this is definitely understandable. You don't want to play Claude into the Esmeralda. It's just the classic old counter builds since Esmeralda has come out, making Claude pretty much useless when the Blazing Duet comes out. So carry your next best option. And I think, you know, Todak doing some really good drafting. They said, hey, instead of taking a Matilda, we're going to be taking a Sylvana. High pick potential. And that poses the question to Evos SG. If you pick Matilda now and let your carry options don't go through, we can start banning them out in the second phase.
Yeah, I really do like the idea that's coming into play, relying back to this very old school power pick. The longer the game gets, you just have to worry about this carry. If you can't lay your hands on her, that's going to be a tough spell for the side of Todak. But now heading in towards phase number 2, you definitely see the Yuzong being banned away. But Todak here, they gotta find ways to aim at Evos SG.
Yep, and the way Todak has to play this is very, very important. They have to make Evos SG pay for that carry. Already, they are by that Yuzhong ban. There was definitely room for Evos SG to even pick up the Yuzhong and force him to pick it. But right now, this carry is super expensive. As nice as it is to say, oh, we're just gonna kite the Esmeralda, and by the late game, as soon as I have items to shred her down, if she misses her Falling Star Moon, like, she's dead, all right? I think definitely Evos SG has to consider that and make sure that this carry stays safe in the gold lane. But when it comes to missing pieces of the puzzle, right now, Todak still needs here a solid tank, if it's not already Sylvana. And for Evos SG, they definitely need a good mid-support hero.
Evos SG, I just feel that they still want to go for the Kagura and Aeon. They prioritized it more than a Farsa. They prioritized it more than a Chang'o. And Evos SG here might want to ban a Cho. Yes, this is good because
That's the tank Cho, I'm guessing.
it is going to be the side lane Cho or the XP lane Cho
Oh.
because you would want someone on your team that can reach the carry.
Yeah,
That's a good way to put it right here.
Yeah, no, extremely. That's why Evos SG locked in the Jawhead, where basically carry essentially is useless. We saw this in Season 4 and Season 5. You don't want history to repeat themselves. And Zay's bringing a lot of his expertise, knowing that, saying, hey, JPL, take Jawhead. We don't want to give them the Cho. If he goes into the side, lane, at least Cho is manageable. Jawhead is impossible.
So we have it on our side. It's essentially getting your weakness and using it against the opponent, right?
Exactly.
Interesting. Why are they building it around this third pick carry? Now, that is definitely something to watch out for. Will Evos SG have that paying dividends for them? Last ban here by Todak is the Rafaela. Interesting.
You can see that both of these coaches really know what they're aiming for. The Rafaela got banned so that the carry doesn't have the extra movement
To
speed.
chase people down.
Kite people.
Uh-huh.
You know, just escape from the clutches here of probably the Hayabusa or the Esmeralda.
Huh.
Now, they're really just playing with each other's draft. They're not going for that same template where you just ban the strong heroes of the meta.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm not just banning out the strong heroes of the meta. It's more of just like attacking them. It's like in chess when you're forking your opponent, you have to make them choose one or the other. You're going to threaten their position and look to build up on your own. And honestly, I think Todak may have made a little bit of a... Okay, this might be a bit out there, but I don't think Rafaela in any of these situations is going to be relevant, especially when Matilda was on the table, which is more effective for Evos SG's side with Hayabusa on their team.
Yeah, it's dashes, it's shields. I guess Matilda was an overall better answer. I'm not sure what Coach Ashi was thinking, but right now, that's going to be the Tigreal locked in. Oh, that's an E1 special.
Yeah, but I'm honestly not a big fan of the Tigreal, as much as they are very comfortable with SR pick, now the reason why they actually ban out the Atlas is for this to appear, and they have been familiar in dealing with that Tigreal much earlier on. And the win rates for Tigreal is a little bit concerning, if you ask me.
I mean, not just that. I mean, like, at the end of the day, E1 was going to get a hard tank, and they could have picked the Tigreal so much earlier into their draft if they wanted to, and I think Evos was expecting something along the line. So you have to give credit to both coaches, really experienced in their draft. I still don't agree with the Rafaelia because they could have easily just banned out the Matilda and said, hey, we're still going to get the Tigreal at the end of the day.
Wait! These two teams are actually just one-upping each other, all right? This is essentially Ashi and Zace playing a game of chess with a boxing match next to it.
I actually have an explanation of what Gideon said. Like, a lot of heroes were open when we reached the first pick phase. Then you kind of get lost in the pool of heroes that you just want to keep on picking those strong heroes that you like.
Yeah.
Then you just lose sight of the structure of your draft.
Yeah, and the fact that, again, Contra said it already, and of course Gideon, it could have come in earlier, the Tigreal, they didn't mind. But the fact that I think Evos SG trapped them into the Tigreal just makes
There were a lot of strong heroes.
Yeah, Evos SG kind of won this draft, I gotta say. Despite it being super risky having two marksmen.
Yeah, and I just love how they are just stacking all these picks all the way through, and now we got our picks all locked in. We're going towards game one in this best of 3.
Well, I would say that no draft is too particularly favored here. There's definitely, it's going to come down to execution because both drafts want to do the exact same thing. They want to scale towards the late game, and essentially they have a 50-50 on either side. It's who can pull it off better.
I agree. They don't have this template that they have the stronger heroes. It's just that we want to play these heroes and we want to fight as early as possible.
Yeah, and then now we've already seen a little bit of the stickers coming out from Todak's side, just giving a little bit of a respect towards Evos, knowing that this is other side's last run, but the Benedetta already suffering a couple of these blows and now being pinned out against the wall, so still level 1, hasn't really received much of an EXP.
I think he's been harassed quite a bit, but now Aeon wants to do the exact same thing towards that mid side. Purple buff is going to be contested for a little bit here. The Cosmic Lags just the way to stop, but Aeon might get caught out. He dashes back in towards his team, and now this could be the response that they're looking for. Moon on the run, Smart Missiles not going to connect just yet as Farmaze manages to clear the buff in time.
Shodo playing with fire, but he will be able to make it out alive, and yeah, things still looking to be on the clear. Both sides just challenging each other, trying to open up some possibilities, and well, Butters, I can see it.
As we're seeing here, a lot of these teams take the silence very seriously. They have different takes on it. If they put a marksman there, some put tanks to go with them, to take care of them, and some don't.
Looks like the dive might occur here on this side. Chiku has been pressured. E1 as well, taking quite a bit. Farmaze needs to try and defend this, but he is the Hayabusa. He can't afford to be wasting his time down on bot side for too long. Evos, they call it off.
And great moves coming across the map. And we do see Moon now getting a little bit of attention coming from Eon, but nothing much could possibly be expended. With the turtle coming up next, I definitely think that Evos would set a little bit more manpower towards the top side of the river, but a little bit of back and forth, not really amounting all too much. Todak still has a slight lead in that sense.
I think we need to talk about Farmaze. Of all people, used to go into the side lane, now playing Hayabusa here. Oh wait, hold on, Moon. He might take a little bit too much damage here as he's on the run. Oh, trying to get away from Aeon as well as JPL. They get all hit by the Falling Star Moon coming in from X-Ray here, trying to buy a lot of time, but nobody seems to be going down just yet. Soul, he's managed to get on out of there. Hayabusa can't do too much with the wave still around. Again, a pretty good engage coming in from Todak's side. However, still a pretty sweaty game overall.
Flicker for a flicker. That's just what they wanted. That's perfect. Moon there with the nice diversion.
Yeah, and he flickered on towards the mid side instead of the jungle, but here comes the contest as well, and the turtle taken from the side of Todak.
Ooh, I mean, the Sacred Hammer already starting the fight off good, but they're on the chase to get X-Ray, and I think he's going to be struggling out here. No, they have their eyes set on bigger things, going for the purple buff instead, and in towards the back line here. Down on bottom side, Soul trying to just cut the waves, making Chiku just forcing him to be busy.
he has this certain freedom of just doing things just because he knows that there was a turtle fight that happened. And now Todak with the Evo stickers shouting Evos, Evos, Evos.
I'll say that it's pretty impressive to see a lot of that same one coming up, but we do have a pick and Chiku is down.
Aeon already finding a great opportunity there, but then where else would they look to attack the map? Hold on, the fight's already begun as Moon trying to go for a big pick onto Soul. However, the rest of the team, that's going to be stopped. Implosion by E1, catching off Aeon as he goes down. The rest of Todak says, no, we don't need to extend this fight. Potato is on his way.
Great work coming from that sort of angle, and now they're going to be looking to perhaps look for another way to just hijack some of all these members. And Moon, he's off of position.
JPL already got a great ejector. The spiral isn't going to be enough to keep him safe there, but my goodness, ugh.
And that's fine, because if you don't get the steal on the buff, at least you got information. And that information led into Moon's pickoff.
I mean, it's not even just about the pickoffs at this point. Like, where do they want to macro here? As they go up and towards the top side, they've already got the OK Shadow Kill onto Pokemon. Could this initiate a dive?
Oh, perhaps so, and we can already see more members from the side of Evos SG now hunting out for Formaze. He's already read the book. He knows that they're coming, and with that, JPL is already in prime position. He spots out Formaze, but he goes in, injects him all the way back, and Aeon tries to go for it, but oh boy, just tricking them all.
Oh, wait, hold on. The back flag X-Ray falling. Star Moon on top of Aeon. He's still alive, but they got their eyes set onto JPL. They need to finish off their targets. JPL taking a large amount of damage from the shields coming in from X-Rays. The rest of the team rotates up. Nobody dies just yet after one of the biggest flanks we've seen thus far. Soul, wait, hold on. Soul, he's trying to make the play to turn this around. He's getting calling Pokemon, but he's already with a final blow. Can he take them out? No, he cannot. He is done, tired, but he has pushed them away.
He protected the objectives, and I think that's what Soul was aiming for. They weren't really in prime position because the Hayabusa wasn't there. And right now for Evos SG, they will feed it to Potato.
Just a well-coordinated choreography right here. And you can see the way that they have timed it to perfection. They absolutely avoided all that lethality coming in from the side of Todak. But now they're collapsing on top of Evos.
Oh, X-Ray has been ejected all the way onto the other side towards the River Crab. E1, no way to really defend him. The OK Shadow Kill has been expanded. And I think, you know, this game has been just an act of, like, you use your ultimate, I look to dive you under turret.
They're forcing the 1-1 here, or Pokemon, to have a bit of a dilemma in between farming or going for the fight. Well, Chiku, he's been just farming all the time. He even got the bottom turret.
Yeah, indeed, he's trying to get himself way ahead in terms of levels so that he could set up for future fights instead. But you can definitely see that Evos' side, they're so objective-driven that they've already opened up the top side. They've already got the turtle after that push and pull, and now Moon's looking to actually go in for the catch against Aeon, but JPL, he's coming from the back.
I mean, E1, he's just stopping JPL in his tracks. He's not going to let him make the play.
And considering that JPL here really wants to go for those ejectors, but hold that thought right now. They're having a fight.
Blazing Duet coming on towards Aeon. He finds that one pick, but Potato is going to be the next to fall off the OK Shadow Kill. Quad Shadows to pull him back. Pokemon does get the Corrosive Scythe in middle of the fight. JPL, he's holding it out. Formaze, the next to fall with the help of Soul and Pokemon. They've traded 1 for 2. It's not looking good.
Yeah, and of course, it definitely backfired on that sort of attempt, and now Todak definitely pulled back their favor, and they're not looking too far off in terms of gold differentials. We'll be looking at some of the itemizations coming in towards this 7.5 minutes.
I think that would be really good, just to kind of get an idea of where, where the power spikes are coming from.
Looking at it, Potato is almost up with his endless battle. That will give him the certain amount of duel that he needs. Moon has the concentrated energy up for him, and Chiku has the Demon Hunter sword. And
Looks like the fight might occur right around Turtle's side. The Circle Eagle trying to get E1 out of position. They're trying to take him out, but it's tough. Turtle has been slain around Turtle's side. They circle Eagle trying to get E1 out of position. They're trying to take him out, but it's tough. Turtle has been slain as they pull on backwards. That's going to be Bloodlust Axe, as well as the Endless Battle on Soul and Potato respectively. Aeon still trying to look to make the play here, and there we go.
Boy.
It's huge. Chiku in the back line with a blazing duet. He managed to stack up that Art of Thievery all the way full, and now Pokemon has to try and look for a return kill. They don't find any.
And you just look at how Todak also puts enough pressure to be able to open things further. They're already going for tier 2.
They always have this move that they always take the better part of the trade. Evos SG, yes, they're reacting, but I feel in a sense they're overreacting because they're leaving some of their lanes.
I think more importantly, it's just the priority of the targets. Like, E1 is getting hard to kill, and now the ejector coming onto Soul throws back the wrong target. A little unfortunate indeed, but it looks like X-Ray managed to have enough distance. Pokemon getting out of that Divine Justice. Thank goodness, because it would have been bad if you got caught out. E1 and Sacred Hammer right on top of JPL, but the fight again, nobody really wants to commit to this full engagement. No one is willing to take the risk.
And of course, you'll be looking towards the side. Evos, oh my goodness, it's a fake ejector flipping X-Ray over, but it will be a full fist biker. Enters the mid side, circling Eagle will be crashing in towards the middle, but 3 members go down for Evos.
Yep, that's a huge loss.
These two teams know each other really well. It's like they're reading a book. Evos SG knows where Todak is coming from, while Todak can just pinpoint where Evos SG is.
This is so nasty because right now Todak, as you mentioned, Butters, this very much feels like muscle memory to them, and it looks like Todak really stepping up their game, realizing this feels like home ground. We've done this before. We've fought you many times. We know your habits. We know how to make the moves.
Now that Evos SG's going to be behind, it's going to be even tougher for Potato to be activated in towards that sort of the hyper carry that they want it to be. Just look at the items here. Yes, after that turtle, they did get the Endless Battle and such, but it's so hard to even stand still at that sort of spot to be able to go in for those pickups. And Todak walks away scot-free many of these times.
But you really can't count out Evos SG because, you know, as they say, 2 marksmen are better than 1.
I mean,
As they say.
that's true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That is good advice for a lot of people. But coming here 4K behind, like, how are they gonna catch up from this? Pokemon, he's going to start the not really gonna start, but he's gonna poke him out a little bit.
Well, speaking of pokes here, there's going to be a little bit of tickle towards the Lord. Formay's already tanking many of the hits, as Soul has already scouted out that they are on a push and pull as they have baited the rest of the Tigers here into perhaps a den that they have already set up as a bait.
Very reactive here, Evos SG. They're being forced to just go to where Todak is, and look at this!
Oh no, they've already caught him out. The blazing duet once again off of the combination of the implosion, but it's not gonna be on the final. Falling Star Move captures 4 people. Potato, he's just trying to bail out of there. Aeon, he needs to pull them back in. Todak, they find another 2-for-1 trade.
And we are hearing the players screaming at the back. They're really hyped for this, and they really just want to get the win. The Lord is now open for Todak, and I think this is going to be uncontested.
The Malaysian side definitely ecstatic about this news, as you can definitely see they are in the driver's seat right now. And they are forcing the side of Evos SG to go a lot more defensive on that Benedetta.
Yeah, I don't think they have a choice anymore. I think they've lost so many trades. It's 7K ahead, and now, JPL tries to go in, but it gets hit by the Blazing Duet as well as the Imperial Justice. No options. I can literally hear Chiku shouting in the background. They are very happy with the position that they are in.
That was a tank, by the way. That was a jawhead tank. Oh my goodness, the damage output from Chico is just way too high.
Wait, let's see his oh my goodness, you're absolutely right. He isn't itemizing towards it. He's trying to get a little bit greedy here.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to bite them even much further here. But X-Ray, they're just moving right past this hurts. And with the Lord coming up top, they are opening the bomb side as well.
Yeah, I mean, the inhibitors now being pressured by currently by Todak here. They want to get that tier 2 as well, but again, not exactly getting too much off of it just yet. No way to crack it open until the Lord of shows up.
But you know what? They don't, Evos SG, they don't have the wave clear as much. They only have Electrify and Blow, and that's it.
Oh, the dive's being set up.
Blazing Duet already chunking onto 4. Again, Chiku is just so far ahead. Circling Eagle from Aeon may not be enough to initiate, but again, Evos members are dying one by one, and Soul trying to clear that wave, and it's not enough. Oh!
What?
The eye for an eye. He's making some moves, but it ain't going to be enough as he can't get the last creep here. Well done, Todak. Take game 1.
What a
Todak.
first game.
Masterful showing. They're just telling us that they know this team all so well.